Betwaboo, beautiful people, Betwaboo. Bring them on camera. What? Hold on. We got a new Betwaboo, Tiffany, Betwaboo, TC. Apparently, Facebook has a new feature. TT, under your name it says bring them on camera. Oh snap, TT, you decent? You want to come on camera for a second? You want to try this? Let me know. Let me know. Betwaboo, Tiffany, Betwaboo, Betwaboo. TT, you decent? Girl, I want to try this feature. It's a new live feature. It only has it under your name right now. I said bring them. Yeah, girl. Okay. All right, we got to try this. All right, you ready? All right, I'm about to hit it. Bring them on camera. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. I got to bring them on camera, but I'm trying to hit it. It ain't working. Hold on. Let's see. Bring them on camera. What in the world? Let's see. Let's wave at Tiffany. Okay. So wave at TT. Now let's see if I can try this. Bring them on camera. Facebook, get it together. Get it together. Girl, I'm trying to bring you on camera. I'm hitting it. It's all lit up and stuff. You wave. Okay, it waved. But I'm hitting this. Okay. I waved at you and Tiffany. But it got this bring them on camera. Hold on. I don't know if I can screenshot this while I'm live. So I can post it when we're done. Okay. Boom. Girl, hold on. Let's see. TT, it's not working. Bring them on camera. I done got all super excited. Hey, Simone. Trying to work this new feature here before we get started. I don't know. It's not working. I'll keep trying it ever so often. Hold on. You see anything happening on your end, sure? It's not. It's not working. Darn it. I don't know what's up. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. I think it's about to work. They'll receive an invite to. I think it's TT. Oh. Oh. Okay.
Yep. Now your question and answer's gonna be lit.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I like this. Okay. It just took a second to do. Okay. It works. Okay, you want to stay on?
No.
Okay. I just want to try. Okay, it works. Okay. All right. Bye. Continues, I guess. Okay. So now we can I don't know, we can get kind of creative with our lives in the morning now that this, I don't know, I guess I know it was echoing Tiffany when I brought her in. So hopefully next time we do it or when we actually use it, maybe we'll bring somebody on live one day where we'll have like maybe somebody want to ask a question live. We'll do it like if you got a question, say I got a question, and I bring you on live. You can ask your question, and then I take you back off. If the echoing is still there, if they haven't fixed it by then, I bring you in live so you can ask your question, and I take you out, and then we'll answer the question. All right. So, but that was pretty cool. I'm excited. Okay, y'all. It is Sunday, April the 26th, 2020. Day 130. We are reading 2 Chronicles 24, 25, and 26. We're about to read about this 7-year-old king. Hey, don't be playing in that water, Isaiah. All right, y'all. We about done with 2 Chronicles too. Hold on. Let's see. 26. I know. Oh, we got a couple more days. I'm sorry. Yeah, we got a couple more days. We got 36 chapters. Okay, y'all. So let's get right to it. Oh, but I mean, family members, y'all done probably seen it. But if somebody comes on that haven't seen it, I posted my African Ancestry results up there. We actually got James back to his paternal line. I don't know that he wants me to share it yet because he hasn't shared it with his family. So I'm super excited about that. We kind of got some questions. But with my family, okay, here's how it works. If y'all didn't understand or if y'all didn't take the time to actually read the letter that they sent and how it works. Okay, so for the maternal line for the DNA, African Ancestry has the biggest database of Black and brown people's blood. That's why they are the number one DNA testing company in the world for Black people, because they have our blood literally from in over 40 countries around the world, right? And so that's how they can pretty much pinpoint you down to the very tribe that you come from. Now, if you look on mine, you see, and this is the maternal, so I'm waiting for my brother, because since my father's already passed, and I actually had when before, you know, when I have a DNA sample from my dad, but I'm not sure if African Ancestry can use it, because if they can't, well, it'll be the same thing for my brother. We're waiting for his to come so he can take it, but we'll probably go ahead and use that. But I want to ask them anyway, so that way, if anybody has their mother or father DNA from before they were buried and you want to get it tested, at least I have the information. I'll let you know. But I'm going to ask them that question. I'm actually going to reach out to them tomorrow and ask them that if we have previous DNA that's been taken by certified doctors or whatever and sealed up appropriately, are they able to use that, or do they have to do it themselves and use their swab or whatever? But anyway, I'll let y'all know about it. But anyway, I was pretty excited. And now my maternal line, anybody who comes from my mom's mom, like my grandma, and like, okay, let's say my grandma to my mom to me, anybody in that line, my grandma's mom, my grandma's mom's mom, all that, we all share the same maternal DNA. And also the men carries the men and the women, but the women only carry the women, and men can only be tested for their fathers because only men carry the Y chromosome. So that's why you have to have your father take it to get the paternal side of your DNA. And if your father is no longer living, hopefully you have a brother. If you don't have a brother, hopefully your dad had a brother with the same father. That way you can get it tested, because that Y chromosome passes down to from the father to the child to the grandchild, all the way down, as long as that paternal line is not broken. The same thing with the women, as long as the maternal line is not broken. If everybody that descends directly from my grandmother to my mother to me. So okay, so me from my mom, so me, my mom, my sisters, and my brothers all share the same maternal DNA. So all of my siblings, my sisters, and my brother's children will all have the same exact maternal DNA that I have. So they don't have to take the maternal DNA test side of it, because I've already done it, and theirs will be exactly the same. And since we all have the same father, once my brother takes it, me, my sisters, and my brother, only us will have that the paternal DNA from our father. Now, when it comes to our children, our sons, they will get their paternal side from their dad. So my sons, their paternal side will come from James. So we have his and we have my maternal side, but we need his maternal side and my paternal side to have a complete picture. You know, we're kind of doing it to pass down so we can trace back and ahead for our children and our children's children. So that way we'll have a complete picture of where we descend from. And I just think everybody should know that. And not a lot of our people, the Black and brown people, know that unless they get tested, you know. But I thought it was pretty cool. So everybody that shares the same maternal DNA on my side would be, and if y'all watching, I'm gonna just kind of name y'all. It'll be my sisters, Leisha, Sherry, Jonathan, all of my children, and my grandchildren, my nieces and my nephews, which would be my sisters and my brother's children, and also my cousins, which would be my cousins from my Uncle Snooky, my cousins from Aunt Bunny. So it would be Mom, Uncle Snooky, and Aunt Bunny. So all those three from grandma, because they have the same dad. Their mom and dad is the same, so that would be passed down. And those three, their children, we share the same maternal DNA. Also, well, that's what I call it. But all of my aunts and uncles that have the same grandma, all of the children, nieces and nephews, the cousins like Chantel, Eric, Tevin, Rachel, Lee Anthony, Emmanuel, Xavier, Tierra, Tony, Maurice, Jason, all of us have, Chris, I got a whole bunch of family members. Forgive me if I forget y'all names. There's a whole bunch more y'all. But anyway, y'all know who y'all mamas is. Everybody that's sent from Bonetta Nichols, all of us, we share the same maternal DNA. So you can go look at my test results and have that. And if you want to send off for the African Ancestry for your paternal side, so you have a complete picture, you can do that. It's a little expensive, but I think it's well worth the investment. It's $300, but they have it to where you can pay on it for about 6 months if you don't want to give the whole $300 at once. That way it's more affordable for people who don't have the $300 right up front. Yes, you're right, Tiffany. Uncle Nat will share the same maternal DNA as well, because yeah, you're right. I know I was just naming everybody who came from grandma, but you're right. So, Tiffany, you wouldn't have the same maternal DNA because, wait, would you? See, I don't know, because your mom is different. But Uncle Nat definitely would have it. Would have the maternal DNA and would pass his father's, which is their father's Y chromosome, down to the boys. But all of his children would share the same maternal and paternal DNA that grandma did, because yeah, I gotta write down. I'm trying to keep it all straight in my head because it's a lot of us, and I just want to make sure that the branches are going out right. So yeah, but your mom, yeah, Tiffany, your maternal DNA from your mom. You will get your maternal DNA from your mom, so yours will be different. So yours is not what I posted, what I have, because we have different moms. So you get your maternal DNA directly from your mom and her mom's mom. So that's how that works. So, okay, I hope I didn't confuse anybody. All right, so let's go ahead with our reading for today. So, if you family and we kind of that same, if you want to keep it, swipe it, save it. That way you will know. But I mean, if you want to test it for yourself, just so you can have it, just to kind of prove you can, go ahead and spend the money if you want to. If not, hey, at least you got it from me. But there are other places. I've actually had it done at 2 other places. I had my DNA tested with ancestry.com and also my heritage DNA. Now, ancestry.com was the first one I got years ago, and it's still kind of vague. I mean, it maps me back to Africa, but it's still vague. It just say, pretty much you're from Africa, and it kind of gives you percentage, like the different countries. I mean, it's a little specific, but not as specific as African Ancestry that pinned me down to the tribe. It just kind of gave me the general area, right? Then also with my heritage DNA, it tracked me back to Africa, and it gave it's almost identical to what I got from ancestry.com, which all 3 of them, they all put me back at in Africa, but it also gives you the other countries where you could possibly be from. And it has like North America, South America. I have no blood from this country over here whatsoever. But I'm not gonna give you my husband's results, but he got his from my heritage DNA and African Ancestry.com. It places him over in that area, but it differs a little bit. That's all I can get for his right now. So he's ready to he talk to his family about his stuff. So, all right, y'all. With that being said, so if you black, but also it can be that you may not descend from over there, because there is some black people that did African ancestry and found out that their family does not originate from Africa. How was that? Because somewhere down the line, there was something, a mixture somewhere, and you actually descended from another place. In African Ancestry, they can tell you that, but they won't give you as many details because all of theirs is very specific to all the African countries. I mean, they can tell you if you like from North America, whatever, they can tell you here, but it won't be as detailed because what they focus on is the black and brown here in Africa. That's how they're so detailed because of all the samples that they have in the African continent. So over here they have some stuff like maybe Antarctica or North or South America. They can tell you, they can point you in that direction and tell you that some other tests may help you be more specific to help you find out your lineage or whatever. So if you get that result, then I would recommend that you take one of the other tests. And if you want to, if you're just good with the generalization of where you come from, that's fine. But if you want more details, you'll probably have to take another test that can actually pinpoint that better for you, especially if your family didn't have the privilege of keeping track of all that stuff where it was passed down. Some families are and they keep history documents and everything, but a lot of black and brown families, they didn't have that. At least I know mine didn't. I just know some things that I've heard, orally passed down, which confirms my test, so. But that's good. Alicia, hey girl, hey. Look, it popped up under your name too. Do you know we have a new feature here on Facebook where I can bring the viewers online? We tried it with TT this morning, so we finally got it to work. So if you want to see how that works, it's almost like you can bring on a second person. So when it starts over, go back and look at the beginning. So it's pretty fun. All right, y'all. So let's start with reading. Hey, guys, calm down there. All right, y'all. Day 130, Sunday, April 26, 2020, 2 Chronicles, chapter 24. All right. Joash was 7 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 40 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name also was Zebiah of Beersheba. And Isaiah, I need y'all to be quiet. And Jehoiada took for him 2 wives. And Joash did that which was right in the sight of Yahuwah all the days of Jehoiada the priest. And Jehoiada took for him 2 wives, and he begat sons and daughters. And it came to pass after this that Joash was minded to repair the house of Yahuwah. And he gathered together the priests and the Levites and said to them, Go out into the cities of Judah and gather all of Israel money to repair the house of your God from year to year, and see that ye hasten the matter. Howbeit the Levites hastened it not. And the king called for Jehoiada the chief, and said unto him, Why hast thou not required of the Levites to bring in out of Judah and out of Jerusalem the collection according to the commandment of Moses, the servant of Yahuwah, and the congregation of Israel for the tabernacle of witness? For the sons of Athaliah, that wicked woman, hath broken up the house of Yahuwah, and also all the dedicated things of the house of Yahuwah did they bestow upon Baalim or other gods. And at the king's commandment they made a chest and set it without the gate of the house of Yahuwah. And they made a proclamation through Judah and Jerusalem to bring into Yahuwah the collection that Moses, the servant of Yahuwah, laid upon Israel in the wilderness. Okay. The Levites were dragging their feet. They told them to go ahead and take up collection, but the Levites didn't do it because before, when they did it, remember Athaliah, the woman who's she gave wicked advice to her son, and her son was killed. Then she took over the throne, and she was a tyrant in the land. When he became king, he had her killed, but while she was reigning, she was stealing all the money from the temple of Yahuwah that should have been going into Yahuwah's house. That's why the Levites didn't move right away until they created a safety box, pretty much a safe for the people to put the money in, and they had guards stay on watch over that box to make sure that the money wasn't stolen. So that's what they were saying. And they made a proclamation through Judah and Jerusalem to bring into Yahuwah the collection that Moses, the servant of Yahuwah, laid upon Israel in the wilderness. And all the princes and all the people rejoiced and brought in and cast into the chest until they had made an end. Now it came to pass that at what time the chest was brought into the king's office by the hand of the Levites, and when they saw that there was much money, the king's scribe and the high priest officer came and emptied the chest and took it and carried it to his place again. Thus they did day by day and gathered the money in abundance. And the king and Jehoiada gave it to such as did the work of the service of the house of Yahuwah, and hired masons and carpenters to repair the house of Yahuwah, and also such as wrought iron and brass to mend the house of Yahuwah. So the workmen wrought, and the work was perfected by them, and they set aside the house of Yahuwah in state and strengthened it. And when they had finished it, they brought in the rest of the money before the king and Jehoiada, whereof were made vessels for the house of Yahuwah, even vessels to minister, and to offer withal, and spoons, and vessels of gold and silver. And they offered burnt offerings in the house of Yahuwah continually all the days of Jehoiada. But Jehoiada waxed old and was full of days when he died. 130 years old was he when he died. And they buried him in the city of David among the kings, because he had done good in Israel toward Yahuwah and toward his house. Now after the death of Jehoiada came the princes of Judah, and they made obeisance to the king. Then the king hearkened unto them. Hey guys, quiet down. And they left the house of Yahuwah of their fathers, and served groves and idols. And wrath came upon Judah and Jerusalem for their trespass. Yet he sent prophets to them to bring them again unto Yahuwah, and they testified against them, but they would not give ear. Remember how I was telling you, here's another example. When the people get off and the kings get off and lead the people astray, Yahuwah, if they're not listening to the priest, Yahuwah will send the prophets. And when they don't listen to the prophets and they completely disregard what they say, then judgment must come. I read that again, verse 19. Yet he sent prophets to them to bring them again unto Yahuwah, and they testified against them, but they would not give ear. And the spirit of Yahuwah came upon Zechariah, the son of Jehoiada, the priest, which stood above the people, and said unto them, Thus saith Yahuwah, why transgress ye the commandments of Yahuwah, that ye cannot prosper? Because ye have forsaken Yahuwah, he has also forsaken you. And they conspired against him, and stoned him with stones at the commandment of the king in the court of the house of Yahuwah. Remember how they stoned the priests and the prophets and spilled their blood when they told them the truth? Here's an example. And I read it again. They conspired against him. They conspired against Zechariah, the son of Jehoiada, the priest. And they conspired against him and stoned him with stones at the commandment of the king in the court of the house of Yahuwah. Thus Joash the king remembered not the kindness which Jehoiada his father had done to him, but slew his son. And when he died, he said, Yahuwah look upon it and require it. And it came to pass at the end of the year that the host of Syria came up against him, and they came to Judah and Jerusalem, and destroyed all the princes of the people from among the people, and sent all the spoil of them unto the king of Damascus. For the army of the Syrians came with a small company of men, and Yahuwah delivered a very great host unto their hand, because they had forsaken Yahuwah, the God of their fathers. So they executed judgment against Joash. And remember, when Yahuwah's people get out of line, he always, when they disregard the words of the priests and the prophets, when it's time for the judgment, he brings another nation in to chastise his people until they repent and get it together. And then they were departed from him, for they left in great diseases. His own servants conspired against him for the blood of the sons of Jehoiada the priest, and slew him on his bed, and he died. And they buried him in the city of David, but they buried him not in the sepulchres of the kings. And these are they that conspired against him: Zabad the son of Shimeath, an Ammonitess, and Jehozabad the son of Shimrith, a Moabitess. Now concerning his sons and the greatness of burdens laid upon him, and the repairing of the house of Yahuwah, behold, they are written in the story of the book of the kings. And Amaziah his son reigned in his stead. All right, y'all. 2 Chronicles chapter 25. Amaziah was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Jehoiadan of Jerusalem. And he did that which was right in the sight of Yahuwah, but not with a perfect heart. Now it came to pass, when the kingdom was established to him, that he slew his servants that had killed the king his father. But he slew not their children, but did as it is written in the law of the book of Moses, where Yahuwah commanded, said, The fathers shall not die for the children, neither shall the children die for the fathers, but every man shall die for his own sins. Moreover, Amaziah gathered Judah together and made them captains over thousands and captains over hundreds, according to the houses of their fathers, throughout all of Judah and Benjamin. And he numbered them from 20 years old and above, and found them 300,000 choice men, able to go forth to war, that could handle spear and shield. He hired also 100,000 mighty men of valor out of Israel for 100 talents of silver. And there came a man of Yahuwah unto him, saying, O king, Let not the army of Israel go with thee, for Yahuwah is not with Israel, to wit, with the children of Ephraim. But if thou wilt go, do it. Be strong for the battle. Yahuwah shall make thee fall before the enemy, for Yahuwah hath power to help and to cast down. And Amaziah said to the men of Yahuwah, but what shall we do for the 100 talents which I have given to the army of Israel? And the man of Yahuwah answered, Yahuwah is able to give thee much more than this. The Amaziah separated them, to wit, the army that was come to him out of Ephraim, to go home again. Wherefore their anger was greatly kindled against Judah, and they returned home in great anger. And Amaziah strengthened himself, and led forth his people, and went to the valley of Salt, and smote the children of Seir 10,000. The other 10,000 left alive did the children of Judah carry away captive, and brought them unto the top of the rock, and cast them down from the top of the rock, that they were all broken in pieces. But the soldiers of the army of Amaziah sent back, that they should not go with him to battle, fell upon the cities of Judah, from Samaria even unto Beth Horon, and smote 3,000 of them, and took much spoil. Yes, sweetie. All right, y'all. Now it came to pass, after that Amaziah was come from the slaughter of the Edomites, that he brought the gods of the children of Seir, and set them up to be his gods, and bowed down himself before them, and burnt incense unto them. Wherefore the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against Amaziah, and he sent unto him a prophet, which said unto him, Why hast thou sought after the gods of the people, which could not deliver their own people out of thine hand? And it came to pass, as he talked with him, that the king said unto him, Art thou made of king's counsel? Forbear, why shouldest thou be smitten? Then the prophet forbare and said, I know that Yahuwah hath determined to destroy thee, because thou hast done this, and thou hast not hearkened unto my counsel. Then Amaziah, king of Judah, took advice, and sent Joash, the son of Jehoahaz, the son of Jehu, the king of Israel, saying, Come, let us see one another in the face. And Joash, king of Israel, sent to Amaziah, king of Judah, saying, The thistle that was in Lebanon sent to the cedar that was in Lebanon, saying, Give thy daughter to my son to wife. And there passed by a wild beast that was in Lebanon, and trode down the thistle. Thou sayest, Lo, thou hast smitten the Edomites, and thine heart lifted thee up to boast. Abide now at thy home. Why shouldest thou meddle with thine hurt? And that thou shouldest fall, even thou and Judah with thee. But Amaziah would not hear, for it came of Yahuwah that he might deliver them into the hand of their enemies, because they sought after the gods of Edom. So Joash, the king of Israel, went up, and they saw one another in the face, both he and Amaziah, the king of Judah, and at Bethshemesh, which belonged to Judah. And Judah was put to the worst before Israel, and they fled every man to his tent. And Joash, the king of Israel, took Amaziah, the king of Judah, the son of Joash, the son of Jehoahaz, at Bethshemesh, and brought him to Jerusalem, and brake down the wall of Jerusalem, from before the gate of Ephraim to the corner gate, 400 cubits. And he took all the gold and the silver and all the vessels that were found in the house of Yahuwah with Obed-Edom, and the treasures of the king's house, the hostages also, and returned to Samaria. And Amaziah, the son of Joash, king of Judah, lived after the death of Joash, the son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel, 15 years. Now the rest of the acts of Amaziah, first and last, behold, are they not written in the book of the kings of Judah and Israel? And after the time that Amaziah did turn away from following Yahuwah, they made a conspiracy against him in Jerusalem, and he fled to Lachish. But they sent to Lachish after him and slew him there, and they brought him upon horse and buried him with his fathers in the city of Judah. Last chapter for the day, y'all. Second Chronicles chapter 26. I'm almost done. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Yep. Wait. Give me a second. Okay, I'm almost done.
Mom.
Yes.
Okay,
you'll be okay. Then all the people of Judah took Uzziah, who was 16 years old, and made him king in the room of his father Amaziah. He built Eloth and restored it to Judah after the king slept with his fathers. 16 years old was Uzzah when he began to reign, and he reigned 52 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was also Jechaliah of Jerusalem. And he did that which was right in the sight of Yahuwah, according to all that his father Amaziah did. And he sought Yahuwah in the days of Zechariah, who had understanding in the visions of Yahuwah. And as long as he sought Yahuwah, Yahuwah made him to prosper. And when he went forth and warred against the Philistines, and brake down the wall of Gath, and the wall of Jabneh, the wall of Ashdod, and built cities round about Ashdod and among the Philistines. And Yahuwah helped him against the Philistines and against the Arabians that dwelt in Gerbal, I think that's Gerbal, and the Mahunims. And the Ammonites gave gifts to Uzzah, and his name spread abroad, even to the entering in of Egypt, for he strengthened himself exceedingly. Moreover, Uzziah built towers in Jerusalem, at the corner gate, and at the valley gate, and at the turning of the wall, and fortified them. Also he built towers in the desert, and digged many wells, for he had much cattle, both in the low country and in the plains, husbandmen also, and vine dressers in the mountains and in Carmel, for he loved husbandry. Moreover, Uzziah had a host of fighting men that went out to war by bands, according to the number of their account, by the hand of Jael the scribe, and Messiah the ruler, under the hand of Hananiah, one of the king's captains. The whole number of the chief of the fathers of the mighty men of valor were 2,600. And under their hand, hey y'all, chill. And under their hand was an army, 300,000 and 7,500, that made war with mighty power to help the king against the enemy. And Uzziah prepared for them throughout all the hosts shields and spears and helmets and habergeons and bows and slings to cast stones. And he made in Jerusalem engines invented by cunning men to be on the towers upon the bulwarks, to shoot arrows and great stones withal. And his name spread far abroad, for he was marvelously helped till he was strong. Hey, Isaiah, chill. They so loud, y'all. I'm sorry. But when he was strong, his heart was lifted up to his destruction. For he transgressed against Yahuwah his God, and went into the temple of Yahuwah to burn incense upon the altar of incense. And Azariah, the priest, went in after him, and with him 80 priests of Yahuwah that were valiant men. And they withstood Uzziah the king, and said unto him, It appertaineth not unto thee, Uzziah, to burn incense unto Yahuwah, but to the priests, the sons of Aaron, that are consecrated to burn incense. Go out of the sanctuary, for thou hast trespassed, neither shall it be for thine honor from Yahuwah. Then Uzziah was wroth, and he had a censer in his hand to burn incense. And while he was wroth with the priest, the leprosy even rose up in his forehead before the priest in the house of Yahuwah from beside the incense altar. Remember we talked about this last time we read. He thought, oh, I didn't gather much fame and stuff. I can go in here and I can burn incense unto Yah myself, because, you know, he's favored me so much so I can do it. You out of place. Remember when Uzzah reached out to touch her, we told you was in the wrong place. That is not your position. Only the Levites and the priests have been consecrated by Yah to do this. When you hop into the wrong office and do this, what happens? Either you die immediately, or something happens. You are stricken in your body with some kind of ailment, and if you don't repent, you die shortly thereafter, or you are paying for a very long time. And when you're paying for a very long time, that's, I don't know, it's punishment, and it's Yahuwah's grace at the same time, that's still giving you time to repent for what you did. Oh my gosh. Speaking of that, you guys have to listen or go read the Testament of Reuben. Jacob's first son. Remember, he should have gotten the kingdom, but Judah got it. But Reuben disqualified himself because he broke one of the commands. He slept with his father's wife. It wasn't his mother, but one of his wives. He slept with his father's concubine, Bilhah. Remember how it says that he went into her when she was asleep? Now, what woman doesn't really wake up when you go in there to have sex with her? But if you read in the Testament, it goes into more detail than what Genesis does, and it tells you his father, Jacob, had actually went away on a trip, and Reuben actually, he actually saw her naked by mistake. It was like one of them things that happened with King David, where he saw Bathsheba bathing. It was almost the same thing that happened with Reuben. And ever since he saw her naked, his mind just, it wouldn't let him go until he had completed the deed that he was contemplating in his mind. So when his father had went on the trip, Bilhah actually had gotten drunk that night, and Reuben knew it. So when she was drunk and asleep, he went in and had sex with her, and she didn't even know it. It was Yahuwah that revealed to Jacob what Reuben had done. And it goes on, Reuben tells you out of his own mouth what happened to him for like pretty much like 7 years. He was stricken in his body and stuff. And although his father had forgiven him, he couldn't, it's, I think it was for like for years, to the day his father passed, he could never look his father in the face for what he had done. And he was just telling his sons, don't allow themselves, he said, you must guard your eyes. He said, you have to guard your senses, because if you don't, you can be carried away, and it can cause you to fall into grave sin like he did, and he repented to us. But I mean, the book of Reuben, if you listen to it, I posted here, if you listen to it on YouTube recording, it's only like 10 minutes long. And if you read, it'll take maybe 15-20 minutes to read it. But I think it's really, really good. It's really, really good wisdom from Reuben. And it fills in some more pieces of the puzzle in Genesis, where it just kind of sums it up and keep on moving for you. So I don't post it there, but when I read this, it just reminded me that, the people being out of place and getting in trouble. Verse 19. Then Uzziah was wroth, and he had a censer in his hand to burn incense. And while he was wroth with the priest, the leprosy even rose up in his forehead before the priest in the house of Yahuwah from beside the incense altar. And Azariah, the chief priest, and all the priests looked upon him, and behold, he was leprous in his forehead, and they thrust him out from thence. Yea, himself hasted also to go out, because Yahuwah had smitten him. And Uzziah the king was a leper unto the day of his death, and dwelt in a several house, being a leper. But he was cut off from the house of Yahuwah, and Jotham his son was over the king's house, judging the people of the land. Now the rest of the acts of Uzziah, first and last, did Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amos, write. So Uzziah slept with his fathers, and they buried him with his fathers in the field of burial, which belonged to the kings. For they said, he is a leper. And Jotham his son reigned in his stead. And that, my beautiful people, is our reading for today. That was 2 Chronicles 24, 25, and 26. I'm not going to carry this on any further because I talked a little bit in the beginning. So we can go ahead and do the blessing and go on ahead and get about our days, y'all. So may Yahuwah bless us and keep us. May he make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May Yahuwah lift up his countenance upon us and give us his peace. And remember, this is the blessing that Yahuwah told Aaron and his sons, the priests, to pray over his people. This is found where? Numbers chapter 6, verses 22 through 27. Actually, you should really read the entire chapter of Numbers chapter 6, because it goes through, in the beginning of it, it gives you the vows of the Nazarite. You can actually take a Nazarite vow today. Man or woman can take a Nazarite vow. So everything from verse 1 to 21 gives you the law of the Nazarite who dedicates themselves to Yah. This is still active today. So in the last few verses, 22 through 27, Yahuwah said, this is how you are to put my name upon my people. He said, you bless them this way, and I myself will come and bless them myself. And that's what we just read. Every day I do this over you. So with that being said, beautiful people, I love y'all, and I will see you in the morning. Peace. Oh, and if you missed the beginning, I tell you about the ancestry, the African ancestry test and results, and how it works. All right. Also, one more thing that I didn't point out. You will see on my results that it has that I descend from like 3 tribes, right? Like the Fula people or Fulani Fula people, the same people that are located in Guinea-Bissau, the Timni and the Mindi people, which are in Sierra Leone, and the Kru people, which are in Liberia. Now, if you read the last page with the map, it shows you how I can be from 3 tribes, not necessarily 3 tribes, but here's what happens. Over the years, and explains it on the last page with the map, and it has those 3 areas lit up, but you will see they're in the same area. So because they've changed the maps over time and they divided up the land of Yahuwah's people, it breaks us up into like what is now today considered 3 different countries, at least where I descend from. But before, it wasn't that way. It was one piece of land. So if the land was still named how it was, it would just be one place that I would descend from. But because they split that land up, it looks like I'm from 3. But it's still the same family, and they give an example of how that can be. And I'm gonna give my example, right? Me, Pam, like me and my siblings, right? Although we're from the same place, but we've spread out. We moved. I have a brother who's in Seattle, Washington. I got sisters living in Newport News. My mom is in Georgia, and I'm here in Chesapeake. So it would track that DNA to all my immediate family members, and it would pinpoint, you got an immediate family member here, you got an immediate family member here, you got an immediate family member here, you got an immediate family member here. But the most of your blood is like if all of my family was still in our original place, most of that blood and the DNA will track to this one particular area, but it will also have me Seattle, Washington here, Georgia here, Newport News here. Those are the same exact family members. We're just spread out. So it connects us that way. So I hope when you read that, you understood that. If not, I hope my example helped you better understand it. How it could look like I'm from 3 different places, but it's not that I'm from 3 different places. Those are my family members who have spread out, and it gave you the name of the countries or the cities where they're at. So, but I originate, but if, like I said, if the land hadn't been split up and divided and renamed, it would just be that one place, especially if my family hadn't moved out. If we were all still there, it would be right there. But most of my blood, most of the people where I'm from, is right there from Guinea-Bissau. So the Fula or the Fulani people. All right, y'all. So with that being said, I love y'all. I hope y'all got what I said, and I hope I didn't confuse you more than what you already were, if you were confused at all. All right, y'all. Love y'all. I'll see you in the morning. Peace.